At 89, Robert Redford finally talks about Paul Newman. Robert Redford was born as Charles Robert Redford Jr. on August 18, 1936, in Santa Monica, California. He grew up in a simple home. His mother, Martha Hart, was a freelance artist who drew pictures for advertisements. She taught him to love art and beauty. His father, Charles Robert Redford Sr., worked as a chemist in a lab. He gave Robert a steady influence that balanced his creative side. Growing up in Southern California, Redford saw the exciting culture of the area and the magic of Hollywood. This planted early ideas in his mind about acting and making movies. Redford's early school years and growing up experiences were also very important. He went to Van Nuys High School, where he developed his interest in drama and acting. He took part in school plays and tried different creative activities. After high school, he went to the University of Colorado. At first, he studied architecture, which showed he was curious about many things. But his love for the arts pulled him away from architecture and toward acting. So he decided to get proper training in performance. He studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City. This famous school gave him serious training and connected him with important teachers who saw his natural talent. Redford's acting career started in the late 1950s and early 1960s with TV shows and small movie roles. But it was in the late 1960s and 1970s that he became a real Hollywood star. His big role in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in 1969, acting with Paul Newman, caught people's attention. It made him known as a charming leading man, with both rough appeal and class. Redford's performance as the Sundance Kid got great reviews and influenced culture. It showed a new type of American hero, someone who was rebellious, thoughtful, and charming all at once. His later roles in movies like The Sting in 1973, All the President's Men in 1976, and Out of Africa in 1985 showed he could play many different types of characters. He could handle different types of movies, from action and drama to romance and political thrillers. Besides acting, Robert Redford is known as a forward-thinking filmmaker and supporter of independent movies. In 1980, he started the Sundance Institute. This is a non-profit group that helps independent filmmakers and supports new talent. This led to the Sundance Film Festival, which became the top place for independent films around the world. It helped start the careers of many directors, actors, and writers. Redford's dedication to creative freedom and new ways of telling stories changed American cinema. He made sure new voices could challenge normal stories and share unique views with audiences. Along with his work at Sundance, Redford directed and produced several well-received films. This includes Ordinary People in 1980, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. He was also nominated for Best Director, which proved he was an artist who could shape great stories and the movie industry itself. In the mid-1980s, Robert Redford kept building his reputation as one of Hollywood's most flexible and interesting actors. During this time, he starred in important films like The Natural in 1984. This sports drama showed Redford could show both charm and deep emotion. He played Roy Hobbs, a baseball player with talent, weakness, and an almost legendary quality that connected with audiences. Around the same time, he was in Out of Africa in 1985. This big romantic movie was based on Karen Blixen's memoir. It showed Redford could play complicated characters in beautiful, story-rich films. Beyond his work on screen, Redford also started to explore his love for directing more and more. This was clear with the Milagro Beanfield War in 1988. He directed this film based on John Nichols' novel. It let him combine his artistic style with stories about social issues. In this project, Redford told a story about community, corruption, and cultural identity. He proved his talents went beyond acting into a thoughtful directing style. In 1992, Redford built his reputation even more as a skilled director with A River Runs Through It. This praised family drama looked at themes of family bonds, personal loss, and the quiet beauty of nature. It starred Brad Pitt and Craig Sheffer. The film let Redford mix poetic camera work with personal storytelling. It showed he could bring out strong performances from young actors while keeping a thoughtful, almost poetic feel. Critics widely praised his directing for being sensitive and artistic. This reinforced Redford's place not only as a screen icon, but also as a filmmaker who could create deeply touching movie experiences. 2 years later, in 1994, Redford directed Quiz Show. This project showed his strong interest in American history and moral questions. The film looked at the 1950s quiz show scandals. Popular TV programs were rigged to get better ratings. It offered a sharp criticism of media ethics, corporate power, and the breakdown of public trust. By taking on such a controversial and smart subject, Redford showed he was willing to face complex social issues through movies. He also showed his skill in balancing dramatic tension, character growth, and historical accuracy. Redford kept working as both an actor and director through the late 1990s. In 1998, he both starred in and directed The Horse Whisperer. This film combined a deeply emotional story with stunning camera work of the American West. The story focused on healing, both for people and horses. It allowed Redford to explore themes of trauma, recovery, and how nature can restore us. His work on this project showed his special ability to direct himself while keeping the story together and emotionally real. This further proved his reputation as a filmmaker with great insight and sensitivity. In the 2000s, Redford stayed active both in front of and behind the camera. He starred in the 2007 political drama Lions for Lambs. He played a university professor in a story that looked at how politics, media, and personal responsibility connect. While acting in this project, Redford kept showing his lasting charm and presence. In 2011, he went back to directing with The Conspirator. This historical drama focused on Mary Surratt and what happened after Abraham Lincoln's assassination. It showed his continued interest in moral complexity, justice, and historical stories. The next year, he combined his two talents again in The Company You Keep in 2012. This film starred Shia LaBeouf. Redford both directed and appeared in it. He skillfully handled themes of political activism, secrecy, and personal responsibility. He proved that even decades into his career, he was still a dynamic, multi-talented force in Hollywood. On August 9, 1958, Robert Redford married Lola Van Wagenen in a private ceremony held in Las Vegas, Nevada. This marked the start of a long and complicated personal partnership that would last for decades. Choosing Las Vegas for the wedding showed they wanted privacy and liked the practical ease of the city's wedding places. These were already known for being efficient and private, even in the 1950s. To celebrate with family and friends in a more personal and traditional way, a second reception was held at the home of Lola's grandmother on September 12th of the same year. This allowed their close relatives to be part of the happy occasion and make special memories. Together, Redford and Van Wagenen had 4 children. Each had their own unique life story and connection to their father. Their first child, Scott Anthony Redford, was born on September 1, 1959. But tragically, he died at just 2.5 months old on November 17, 1959, from sudden infant death syndrome. Scott was buried at Provo City Cemetery in Provo, Utah. This left a lasting mark of sadness and tenderness on Redford and Van Wagenen's lives. Their second child, Shauna Jean Redford, was born on November 15, 1960. She grew up to be a talented painter. She showed a creative side that was like her father's artistic nature. Shauna later married journalist and author Eric Schlosser. They formed a partnership based on intellectual and cultural interests. David James Redford was born on May 5, 1962. He pursued a career in writing and film production. He followed in his father's footsteps by working in the creative world behind the camera. Sadly, James died on October 16, 2020. He left behind a legacy of storytelling and artistic work. Their youngest child, Amy Hart Redford, was born on October 22, 1970. She took on many roles in the entertainment industry as an actress, director, and producer. This extended the Redford family's influence in film and theater even more. Together, the Redfords have 7 grandchildren. Each represents the continuation of the family line and the personal and creative legacy of Robert Redford. Although Redford and Van Wagenen were deeply connected through their children and shared experiences, their romantic relationship slowly drifted apart over the years. Neither Redford nor Van Wagenen ever publicly said they separated or divorced. They kept a private position on their changing relationship. However, in 1982, the well-known entertainment columnist Shirley Eder reported that the couple had been very much apart for a number of years. This indicated that the marriage had really ended in personal terms, even if not legally finished. Nearly 10 years later, Parade magazine showed the unclear nature of their marriage status. In 1991, they stated, "It is unclear whether the divorce has been finalized." This highlighted the couple's ongoing privacy and discretion about personal matters despite Redford's public fame. On July 11, 2009, Robert Redford started a new chapter of his personal life when he married his longtime girlfriend, Sibylla Sagars, in a ceremony at the prestigious Louis C. Jacob Hotel in Hamburg, Germany. Sagars, a skilled artist herself, had moved in with Redford in 1996. She shared his home in Sundance, Utah, and became a key part of his personal and creative life. Their marriage reflected a mature partnership built on mutual respect, shared interests in art and culture, and a deep understanding of each other's lives shaped by decades of experience and previous relationships. This marriage, formed later in Redford's life, emphasized his lasting desire for companionship, love, and stability. It further highlighted the human side behind his public image as a legendary actor, director, and philanthropist. At the age of 89, Robert Redford, one of Hollywood's most lasting and iconic figures, finally opened up about his decades-long friendship and professional partnership with the legendary actor Paul Newman. Redford's thoughts offer a rare and personal look into the depth of their bond. It was a connection that went far beyond the movie screen. In his remarks, Redford did not hold back. He spoke honestly and with the kind of understanding that only comes from a lifetime of shared experiences and mutual respect. "Paul was the kind of person who made everyone around him better," Redford said. He recalled the natural charm and humility that Newman had both on and off camera. He described how even at the peak of fame, Newman never let success cloud his sense of humanity or generosity. Redford's words show not just admiration, but a deep personal affection. This speaks to the rare kind of friendship formed in the pressures of Hollywood and the collaborative world of film. Redford also thought about the unique dynamics of their professional work together. "We had this unspoken understanding on set," he explained. He detailed how their mutual respect let them push each other creatively while keeping a light-hearted friendship that made long shooting days feel smooth. He remembered the countless hours they spent discussing character motivations, improvising scenes, and challenging each other to improve performances. They did this not for awards, but for the love of the craft itself. These memories show the deep artistic connection that made their collaborations not only commercially successful, but also critically respected. Beyond work, Redford spoke of the personal impact Newman had on his life. He was more than a friend. He was like a brother, he revealed. He touched on the personal support, advice, and quiet encouragement that defined their decades-long relationship. Redford's words suggest that their bond was a rare mix of companionship, mentorship, and mutual understanding. It was the kind of friendship that goes beyond ordinary social connections and leaves a lasting mark on one's life. Finally, Redford expressed a sense of gratitude and nostalgia. He emphasized how Newman's influence reached far beyond their own lives and careers. "Paul taught me that success is measured by kindness, integrity, and the impact you have on people," Redford said. He stressed how Newman's legacy is not only about movies, but deeply human. By opening up at this late stage in life, Redford has given fans, historians, and fellow actors a treasured window into the life of one of Hollywood's greatest duos. It's a testimony to friendship, artistry, and lasting respect that continues to resonate decades after their first shared frame.